Prime Minister Boris Johnson has hinted that he may have to close schools again if the new coronavirus restrictions don't work. Addressing the nation last night, the PM said the battle with coronavirus was far from over and urged the public to obey a long list of new restrictions or risk a new national lockdown. New rules include 10 p.m. closing times for pubs, restaurants and other hospitality venues in England from tomorrow, with table service required by law. Mr. Johnson said the new curbs on daily life were vital to preventing the virus from spiralling further out of control and warned, if people don't follow the rules, then we must reserve the right to go further. The government has always stressed that keeping schools open is a priority, and earlier this month Mr. Johnson said that closing schools again would be a last resort. However, in last night's speech the PM said that if we let this virus get out of control now, resulting in a forced new national lockdown, ultimately it would threaten once again the education of our children. He added, "We must take action now, because a stitch in time saves 9, and this way we can keep people in work, we can keep our shops and our schools open, and we can keep our country moving forward while we work together to suppress the virus." Parents breathed a welcome sigh of relief when school reopened fully in September, with COVID-secure measures in place, including year group protective bubbles to minimize contact and lessen the chance of transmission. But unless coronavirus levels are driven down quickly, there appears to be a risk that schools could be shut again. Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab this morning echoed the PM's warning by saying that a second full lockdown by Christmas could be on the cards if Brits don't obey the new rules. Mr. Raab said we can't rule out going further than the PM's 6-month curbs and told Sky News, "We want to control it as we go through the winter months, which we know are higher risk. We've got the measures that the scientists have advised that we can take. Let's hope that we can get through the winter months if we take these measures, if everyone plays by the rules." Coronavirus outbreak, and we go into Christmas not needing to go into that national lockdown with all the impact on society and families, but also the damage it would do to businesses. Meanwhile, one of Boris Johnson's own scientific advisors fears the government is repeating the same mistake after failing to act quickly enough to flatten the first wave of COVID-19. Professor John Edmunds, a member of the Scientific Advisory Group for Emergencies, SAGE, said the new restrictions aren't strict enough to curb the spread of coronavirus, and he predicted the second wave of the pandemic will continue to spiral out of control. Calling for tougher measures to be imposed as soon as possible, he said action had not been taken quickly enough back in March, and that mistake is about to be repeated.